everybody, and welcome to my first attempt ever at making a video. So I'm going to be running some benchmarks on Breath of the Wild. Here are my specs. I'm running an i5 2500K at close enough to 4.5 gigahertz. I've got 16 gigabytes of DDR3 at 2133 megahertz. And I'm running an RX 470 4GB edition. So I benchmarked 4 different areas of Breath of the Wild, and I ran the benchmarks 3 times each. I used Fraps to record frame times, and I'm using a program called Frafs Bench to convert those frame times into average FPS, 1% low, and 0.1% low FPS. I feel that that's more indicative of performance than simply a single minimum frame time. So here's the first benchmark area. As you can see, there's some weird glitches going on with my stamina bar. I don't know what's up with that. I've only noticed it really in this area, but I wanted to point it out just in case that has some bearing on performance. Cemu 1.8.1 should be out within the next 24 hours or so, and I'm very curious to see if performance is improved in this area and in my last benchmark area, the Hyrule Castle area specifically. So as you can see, I hit 23, 24 FPS there a little bit, but mostly it's staying pretty locked down to 20, plus or minus 1 every now and then. But for the benchmark, again, I ran it 3 times. This was the best of 3, and when I ran the benchmarks, there was no recording going on, and there was no recording, and I did not use graphics packs, so I was running at 720p. This video is shot using the 4K graphics pack. But the average FPS for best out of 3 was 21, and the 1% low was 16 FPS. So now I'm going to go over here to Shah Gamma and run that benchmark. I'm mostly running this this area because I've seen videos of this area in the past, and also it kind of shows that everything's not quite so bad. I feel like I might have picked benchmarks that show that the graphics card can't handle the game. It really can. There's lots of 30 FPS going around. But so this area here, again, benchmarked it 3 times, best of 3. Let me put on some warm clothes so I'm not dying. Alright, so basically I start the benchmark and run up here towards this lintel and pick a fight with him. I'll try to shoot him and see if I can get him to notice me early. Let's see. But if you look up, I mean, we're 27, 24, it fluctuates. I am recording also, just to make note. Goodness, I cannot shoot the bow today. Alright, let's run up there and pick a fight with him. Alright, that's enough of that. So anyway, the average FPS was 27 there, and the 1% low was 18. Now let's go to everyone's favorite area, Kakariko Village, and run the benchmark there. For Kakariko Village, I basically just I go up to the starting point of the village, the entrance, and run the big circle around Kakariko Village, basically. The FPS just kind of immediately plummets here, but that's kind of the nature of Kakariko Village. So prior to the king pronouncing the name of this village, my entire life I've called it Kakariko Village. Alright, so I face the camera that way, start the benchmark, and run, just circle around Kakariko Village. You can see the frame rates stick around 18, 17, 16. I think 15 is really about the lowest I ever noticed. There's that shadow bug that will be fixed, as far as I know, in 1.8.1. It's really not as bad as some people make it out to be, though. See, I was up in the 20s for a second. Last little bit of running, and I'd stop the benchmark right here. Best of 3, average FPS was 18, 1% low was 14 FPS. And then Hyrule Castle. I really don't know what's up with that FPS counter during this scene specifically. It seems to drop and rise and drop. Alright, here we are. There's the shadow bug again. I'm going to go ahead and put my good-looking clothes on. This is an edited save, by the way. I didn't use my normal save, so I don't actually know where most of this stuff is located. Pants, where's the pants? There they are. Alright, now I'm cool looking. Ooh, I forgot these guys were going to be here. Maybe I can outrun him. I most certainly could not outrun him. Hey, but we got a good look at that light bug that is a problem with AMD as well. I don't recall seeing that mentioned as a fix for 1.8.1. I hope it is, though. It's more annoying than the shadow bug, in my opinion. Alright, I'm going to cheat and just use some ancient arrows and see if I can kill this guy pretty quickly. Ouch. So again, we kind of see our FPS immediately drop down to 15 again here. And I really wasn't expecting that for this area. I wasn't expecting it to be less than Kakariko. During my benchmark run, I noticed some weird graphic things. There, if you see that to the right there, are those supposed to be there? You can see some in the distance there too. Just these big pink things surrounded by shadow. I really can't shoot today, can I? There's that light bug again. Now, before I even did my first benchmark run of this area, I cleared out all these guys. There's a little bit more of that glitching I was talking about. Could that be impacting performance here? I don't know. It's almost as if it's frame locked at 15 here, for whatever reason. Also, if you notice the smoke rising up from the ground, sometimes it has shadow boxes around it. Again, could that be impacting performance? I personally don't know, but I'm looking forward to testing out 1.8.1, which solves the shadow box problem. Maybe it solves some of that too, and maybe the FPS in this area will bounce up a little bit. So anyway, in this area, average 16, 1% low of 13. Alright, and now I'll go ahead and show you these. So here's the Soda Saw run that I did. Remember, best of 3, no graphics packs, no recording while I was doing it, just Fraps running, nothing else. Average of 21, 1% low of 16, just like I said, 0.1% low of 12. For emulation, I don't really find that one all that important. If you look here, the 33.3 milliseconds, that would have equated to our 30 FPS. And as you can see, we're a little over, a little above in some places, but our average is right here, right there, about 21. The reason I like 0.1 and 1% lows better than just minimum is because if I was just using minimum, that guy right there would be minimum at like 2 or something. And that's just not indicative of performance when there's only so few that are that low. Okay, here's Kakariko. Never touch 30 here, never. It does get better as we end the run, probably because I'm looking at less of the village. But really, we're all over the place on this run. Average of 18 really isn't that bad though. 1% low, 14.112. Sha Gamma, bam. That's what you want to see. Our average FPS is right there around the 30 frames per second thing. Average 27, 1% low 18, so 99% of the time we're over that 1% low. We're over it 99% of the time. And the castle run, which was the shocker. Again, never touched 30, never even close to it. Something's got to be up with that area. I'm hoping 1.8.1 will boost performance there, but 1% low, average 16, 1% low 13, 0.1% 10. This was by far the worst of the AMD benchmarks. Well, that's it for now. I will see you in the part 2 video where I will benchmark the GTX 1070 and compare it with these results. Thank you.